you're designing in SOLIDWORKS, you'll be taking advantage of the part modeling capabilities. Chances are you're also putting the parts together in an assembly. SOLIDWORKS provides enhancements year after year to make your experience more convenient and more streamlined. And this is no different in the 2024 release. In this video, we'll take a look at some of the enhancements to Assemblies in SOLIDWORKS 2024. This is just one video of a series where we're breaking down the enhancements in SOLIDWORKS 2024, so be sure to subscribe and get notified when we release our next in the series where we'll be covering the enhancements to SOLIDWORKS drawings. Now let's dive in. The first enhancement we'll take a look at is the Insert Component command. Now, when you select a document to insert, not only will the configuration name be listed, but the configuration description will too. This is helpful for finding the right part when your configuration names are all part numbers. Our next enhancement for Assemblies is also in the Insert Components command. We can now define the fix and float behavior when inserting components, with options including only fix the first component, fix every component that is inserted into the assembly, or floating every component that is inserted. Now that we have our components inserted, we'll need to mate them into place, which leads to our next enhancement. When applying the With command, you may notice that instead of With and Tab, we now have With Selections 1 and With Selections 2. With this update, it now does not matter which order you make these selections when using any of the constraint other than centered. Our next enhancement has to do with mate references. When adding mate references, we now have the option to create mates only when the reference names match, which results in a much more consistent behavior. We also have the ability to lock rotation for concentric mate references. Now when I control, click, and drag, I'm able to accurately and precisely snap these components into place, and even get a dialog window showing all of the other named mate references that match. Now that we have our components added, we'll proceed with cleaning up our assembly tree. Previously, we could jump into an individual part's component properties and edit the component reference. Now, in 2024, we can edit the component references from the top level of the assembly. Another enhancement in 2024 is the addition of Defeature rules. We can set up a set of rules that pull the value from the custom properties of each component that then defines the level of detail that you would like to remove from the part. In this example, level 1 is a component of lower concern, all the way up to level 3 where it leaves just a bounding box volume. Once we hit apply, SOLIDWORKS will go through on a part-by-part basis and defeature each in accordance with the rule that you have defined. Once complete, you can save the defeatured model out as a new document or a configuration within that part or assembly. If you saw our What's New video for parts and features, you have already seen a preview of this next functionality, but also available with Assemblies in 2024 is the ability to save to previous version years, up to 2 years behind the latest. Right from the Save As window, we can select SOLIDWORKS 2022 and 2023 in the case of 2024. We can also access this capability via the Pack and Go command, and even determine if we would like to export all of the reference components to the previous version as well. Keep in mind that you will only be able to export if there are no features included in the model that are newer than the release that you are exporting to. Now jumping back to the Save As dialog, you'll notice that extended reality file formats GLTF and GLB are included as a default. You no longer have to install the extended reality exporter separately to get access. These file formats are commonly used for web design or other XR, AR, or VR applications. Next up on our list of enhancements for Assemblies in SOLIDWORKS 2024 is the ability to filter step files prior to opening. This will give you a preview of the components that are included in that step, and you can even select a component to generate a 3D preview prior to fully importing it into SOLIDWORKS. Once you've confirmed the correct components you need, you can proceed with the import model to import just the select components of need. This is going to be a huge time saver for anyone commonly working with large assemblies shared in step format. For our last enhancement, we'll jump into a new assembly and can see that there are rebuild errors. Diving deeper, we can see that the local pattern has lost its reference. Now, in 2024, we have the same auto repair functionality for component patterns that was added to mates in 2023. Upon selecting this, we can rebuild and see that the assembly was able to solve successfully. In review, in SOLIDWORKS 2024 for Assemblies, we have new capabilities in the Insert Component command, including the ability to see configuration description and define the fix float fix behavior when inserting components. We also have improvement to the With Mate selection where it automatically defines your With tab definition. With enhancements to mate references, we have improved named mate recognition and the ability to lock rotation with our mate references. Our component references can now be edited in bulk operation from the top level of an assembly. We also have the ability to create a set of rules to defeature the entire assembly. And for my personal favorite, the ability to save assemblies 2 version years prior. We also have the ability to export to GLTF and GTB without installing the extended reality exporter separately. And we now have the auto repair functionality brought into component patterns. For a couple of bonus enhancements not shown in today's demonstration, you're now able to use a single button click to delete all missing references in the Find References dialog window. You also have a selection filter for flexible subassemblies, which will allow you to bulk select them and set to rigid. And for our last bonus enhancement, we now have the ability to set a default prefix or suffix for mirrored components. I said it during the breakdown of enhancements with parts, and I'll say it again. The ability to save to previous version years is going to be a game changer if you collaborate with anyone on a previous version of SOLIDWORKS. And this was just one of many great enhancements. Be sure to contact us to learn more about upgrading to the newest release of SOLIDWORKS, and subscribe to our channel to be notified of the next video. This will be on the enhancements to drawings in SOLIDWORKS 2024.